Alright, in this video I'm going to try to walk you through all the steps to set up your website and also how to upload your homework assignments. The first step is to come to this webpage, www.westernstudent.com, and it should look like this. And what you can do is just click this button to sign in with Microsoft. So your student account at Western is actually a Microsoft account, and so it's just your student account. But just click that button and it should recognize you, and you can see here that it recognizes me. It says welcome back and then my name. You should see your name here. Now what you see might look a little bit different than what I'm seeing here because I'm set up as an instructor. But what you need to do is click this to create an account. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now what we've been doing, you can create your own custom domain name, but what we've been doing for the beginning students is just having them use the westernstudent.com domain name. So we're going to skip this choice and we're going to go down to subdomain right here. So I'm going to check that radio button, and then now here's where you pick your subdomain. Okay, so now you can use your name or you can use something cute and funny. Let's keep it professional. But what I'm going to do for this demonstration is just use my first name. Now, if somebody else has already used that for a subdomain, then you won't be able to. So anyways, you'll have to pick something that nobody else has used, and I'm sure you'll see that if you if the system detects that somebody else has already used the one that you're trying to use. Okay, I'm just going to go with my name right here, and so that means that my domain for my website is going to be nile.westernstudent.com. Okay, alright, so let's see, I think that's it. All I have to do is scroll down and click create hosting account like this, and then it should take a few minutes for this to happen, so I'm just going to pause the video for now. Okay, so that process has completed, and now you should see something that looks something like this. So you'll have a username that you'll want to remember, and you'll also be assigned a password, which you can get from right here. And then there's a few, and here is the domain. So this is going to be how people get to my website. It's going to be nile.westernstudent.com, and then here's how you can get to the cPanel for it. Okay, so now you can always come back to westernstudent.com if you forget your information like your username or password. You can just go to westernstudent.com, log in with your Microsoft account like we just did a minute ago, and then you should be able to get to your information here, so you don't have to worry about losing this information. You can always find your username and password. Okay, now what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and copy the password. Now I noticed that this copy doesn't always work, so sometimes you have to actually press this button first and then manually copy your password. Now I don't want to do that on the screen right now, so I'm going to pull it off to the side here so that nobody sees my password. You want to be really careful about that stuff. And I'm going to copy my password. Okay. Alright, now I've got it copied, and then I want to note my username right here. There's my username. I've got my password on my clipboard. I'm going to create a new browser window like that, a browser tab I should say, and then I'm going to go to my new website. So mine was nile.westernstudent.com. You got to spell it right, otherwise you won't get there. Hopefully I spelled it right. And now this is what you're going to see if you go to your website. There's nothing on there right now. Actually, these are two folders. It's hard to tell, but we don't have a home page up yet, and we're not even going to worry about that for the purposes of this video. Okay, so anyways, here's your website. We'll put some stuff up here so that you have a home page and stuff like that by the end of the semester. Alright, so that's how you get to your website after you've created it. That's your domain name. That's what you can share with all your family and friends at the end of the semester to have them look at your cool website. Okay, now I want to show you how to get to the cPanel. What you can do is, I'm opening up a new browser tab here, and you can go ahead and type in your domain name. So there's mine, nile.westernstudent.com. And then what you can do to add to the end of that URL is a colon and then 2083. So I added a colon and 2083 to the end of that URL. Okay, and we'll explain in later courses what that 2083 means, but it's a port, but don't worry about that for this class. Okay, here you'll get to your login for the cPanel, so you have to put in your username. Mine was CotterN2, and then I'm going to paste in my password here. Right there like that, and then I should be able to log in. Here it is. Okay, and now this is the control panel for your website. This is where you come to upload your files, and you can actually do a whole lot of stuff with your cPanel account. You get email addresses and you get databases and a whole bunch of other stuff, but for the Web 1 class, all we care about is the website that you get. Now I just closed those windows here, and here's what the cPanel looks like, and you can see it's kind of overwhelming. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. But I want you to scroll down to the File Manager in the Files section. This is the tool that we're going to use to copy our files to our live web server. Okay, so go ahead and click on File Manager, and here's what it looks like. And now it's just a way for you to navigate through the files and folders on your cPanel account. And as I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. You get email, you get other stuff. But the only thing that we care about for the Web Programming 1 class is this public HTML folder. That's a special folder for us. Anything that's inside this folder is part of your website. Okay, and it's so special that they didn't even give it a real folder icon right here. They made it like a World Wide Web icon, which is kind of confusing for people. Okay, now to get into this folder, I can either click on it right here, or I can click on it right here. But if I click on where it says public HTML, that won't work because it's trying to get me to rename the file. Don't rename this folder. It's got to be called public HTML. So anyways, it's a little bit clunky, but you can get to it by double clicking on this globe like that. And then here's what you'll see. You'll see a folder called CGI-bin, and then you'll see a folder with whatever you chose for your subdomain. Okay. Now the first thing that we need to do here is get our web programming course files up on the website here. Okay. Now you should have your web programming folder somewhere on your desktop, or at least that's where we put it in the classroom. But I don't know where you put this on your home computer, but you should have a folder called web programming, and those are the course files for the class. Okay, so what I need you to do here, now we have to be careful because if we do something a little bit different, it might not work. But I want you to right click on that web programming folder. Don't go inside of it. You don't want to open up this folder. You just want to right click on it like this, and then choose compress to zip file. Okay, so we want to make a zip file of that folder. Okay, and now here it is. There's the zip file. It's got the little zipper through it that lets me know that it's a folder that's been zipped up into a zip file. And what we want to do is we want to use File Manager to copy this zip file up to our live web server in cPanel. So I'm going to go back to my File Manager in cPanel right here, and I'm going to choose Upload. And then here it's asking me to select a file to upload. So I'm just going to click that Select File button, and then I'm going to go find the zip file that I just created, which is on my desktop. So I actually have to do this, but now there's the actual folder, but that's not the zip file. Down here, there is the zip file. So you need to upload the zip file. Okay, so click that to select it, and then click Open, and then hopefully it will open it, or upload it, I'm sorry. And then hopefully you'll see a green bar right here, and that means that it worked. And then at that point you can click Go Back here, and it will take you back to your File Manager. Okay, now so here's the zip file that we just uploaded. So now what we need to do is unzip it and extract that whole folder right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and right click on it and choose Extract. Okay, and then I can hit this button here to extract, and now notice that it's going to extract these in the public HTML folder. That's where they need to be, so you should see public HTML right here. But anyways, hit the Extract Files button. Okay, and then you're going to see this. This is just showing you all the files that are in that zip file. So you can hit Close. Okay, and now at this point I'm done with the zip file. I no longer need it anymore. I'm just going to get that out of the way and delete it. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on that and choose Delete, and then I'll hit Confirm right there, and now I have my web programming folder in the public HTML folder, which is where it should be. So I want to show you something. I'm going to go back to this tab. Now in this tab we just entered our domain name right here, and here's what we were seeing. Now normally you would see a home page, but we don't have a home page up there yet. If I refresh this now, I should see my web programming folder right there. Okay, and now I can actually click on that, and then here is the index HTML file that's inside your web programming folder. Okay, now from here you can navigate around, and these should all look familiar to you because we do have all these folders in our course files. So anyways, if you're seeing what I'm seeing here, it looks like everything worked for you. Okay, so that's the process for getting your web programming course files up to your live server. The next thing you need to do is know how to submit your assignments. So I'm going to show you that right now. Alright, so here I'm in VS Code. This should look familiar to you. We've been using it since day one. Here I've got the web programming folder open in it, and these are all the course files. I'm just going to use an HTML worksheet as an example to show you how to submit the worksheets. So I'm going to open up the HTML folder here, and I'm just going to pick the first worksheet. So let's say it's time to do this worksheet. I'm going to click on it. I won't go through this I won't actually do the worksheet. I'll just do it real quick here. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to answer the first question, which is what is the significance of the root element or I'm sorry, the HTML element in a web page. Okay, I'm just going to type this. So here's where I would put my answer, and I would say the HTML element is, and then I'm not even going to bother to finish this out because I don't want to take the time to do it. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to, let's just say I finished the whole entire worksheet and I'm ready to submit it now. Alright, these are important steps, and a lot of students skip these steps and they run into problems, but there are a few checks you need to do while you're submitting your assignment. The first thing you need to do is make sure that it looks good on your local computer. And now in class we talked about the local computer is the one that you're currently working on. So to open this page up on my local computer, this computer that I'm working at, I can right click here and choose Open in Default Browser. Okay, that's going to pull that up over here in my other monitor. And so what you want to do is just eyeball everything and make sure everything looks right. So here's the answer that I just gave. I'm just going to pretend that I looked through everything else and everything looks good, and I'm ready to go ahead and submit it then. Okay, so make sure you check it on your local computer first. And now I want to show you something. Is if I look at that URL, I know that this web page is on my computer because the URL starts with C: right there. That means it's on my C drive. Okay, I'm going to leave this tab open, and I'm going to show you how that changes after we publish this worksheet to our live web server. Okay, so I'm ready to go ahead and submit it. What you need to do to submit your worksheets is you need to publish the pages to your live web server, and then you're going to submit the URL to it. So let me show you how that works. So the first thing you have to do is go back to cPanel. So I'm going to open up a new tab here, and I'm going to get to cPanel, remember you can type in your domain name and then add a colon and 2083. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and this is where I can log into cPanel, and then I'll see if it remembers my password here like this. I should be able to log in. Okay, I'm going to close that, and then I'm just going to get these pop-up windows out of the way. And now here we are in cPanel. I need to go back down to the file manager, so I'm going to scroll down here and click on File Manager. Okay, here are all my files on the server. So you have a home directory, and then you have a directory with your username, and then inside of that is all this stuff that you see right here. Remember I told you that it's the public HTML folder is the important one. That's your website. That's a magic folder. So I can click on it right here, and I can see here's my web programming folder. Okay, so I'm about to submit an HTML worksheet. That means I need to go into the web programming folder and then go into the HTML folder because it's an HTML worksheet. If it was, later in the class when we do JavaScript and CSS, you'll be submitting your worksheets to those folders. But since this is, I'm doing an HTML worksheet, I want to double click on that. And this is where I want to upload the file to. Now this file is actually already there because it was included in the web programming folder that I gave to you. But this one that I'm looking at is not finished yet. We just finished it on our local computer, and we want to replace this with the one that's on our local computer. So this is the one that's on our live web server in cPanel. Okay, so what I do at this point is I choose upload, and now I'm going to select the file that I want to upload. So I click the select file button. From here I have to go find the worksheet. So it's in my desktop inside the web programming folder. From there I go to the HTML folder, and now that should be the worksheet that I just finished. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click open, and that should upload it, and hopefully everything will work. Now look at what this is saying. It's saying that file already exists on the web server. Do you want to overwrite it? Yes, I do, because I want to replace it with the one that's finished. So I'm going to hit yes here. Okay, hopefully everything will work, and you'll get a green bar here like that. At that point, it looks like it got uploaded, and I'm going to go back. Now, so here it is, and you can see right here it just got modified today, so I can see that that's the new version of the file. Okay, now another very important step that students miss is that once you upload it, you want to look at it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up a new browser tab, and I'm going to go to my domain name, which is Niall@westernstudent.com. I don't want to go to the control panel here, so I'm going to delete that :2083. Okay, from here I can click into the web programming folder, and then from there I can click into the HTML folder, and then here, now I put these links here for you, so they were all set up and ready to go. Here you should be able to click on this and see your web page. Okay, now look at, there's the answer that I added to it. Okay, now I want to show you that before, when I was over in this tab over here, I was looking at it on my local computer. I'm going to go back to that. Look at this URL. It starts with a file C:, so that's the version that I looked at when it was on my local computer. Okay, over here in this tab, you can see that the URL starts with my domain name, with my website. So I know that I'm looking at it on my website. Okay, at this point, I want to eyeball it again, because sometimes you have issues on your live server that don't occur on your local machine. So you do want to take the time to look over everything and make sure everything works. One thing that students do a lot is they forget to upload an image. So like if you have to put an image here, then when you submit your assignment, you're going to have to upload the worksheet, and you're going to have to upload the image to the images folder. So that's a common mistake that people make. Okay, anyways, make sure you check everything to make sure it looks good right here on your domain name. Okay, at that point, if everything looks good, I can copy this URL, and then I can go to Blackboard and find the assignment in Blackboard. This one is in the week 1 folder. So I could go to the week 1 folder, and what I want to submit is the URL that I just copied. This URL is what I submit. So that is the process for submitting your worksheets, and I want you to let me know if you have any questions about that. All right, thank you very much.